This conference will now be recorded.
So guys, practice, which is very important. If you're not practice, then I could not get an interest on you actually. So otherwise I can literally stop our class.
Null hypothesis, sir. Null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis.
Okay. So what is the use of this particular test? నా కోడ్ ని పాడు చేయక అట్లే ఉంచు మిగతా వర్క్ చేసుకో ఓకే ఫైన్
Reality check in null hypothesis.
Okay, so we are just comparing our reality check and our statistical test, right? So in the real time and in reality, what will happening if in case of statistical, if you're applying some kind of statistical test, so whether both are equal or different, so that we can able to confirm with the help of the hypothesis testing, right? That's fine. Let's go with the today's concept. I think guys, when we have a data and we have some population population data, from that one if you want to gather some, or if you want to take it some sample data, so maybe your sample data which is exactly replica of your population or not, if you want to know it, then the confidence intervals are very, very important, so that we can call it a CI. Okay, so we are going to discussing about confidence intervals. Okay, yes. Okay, side heading. Okay, side heading, confidence intervals. Okay, so coming to this particular point, so here which we have two things we have it. One is the lower point and second one is the upper point. For example, you have some kind of normal distribution. We have some kind of normal distribution. By the time the confidence intervals which is talking about, this is my lower point, and here the right side of the top one which we can consider as the upper point. Okay, so the data which we have in between this particular range only. So from this particular range, approximately 95% to 99% of the data will be distributed over this particular range. So with help of the confidence intervals from the population, we can gather some sample data, and how it is a replica of your population with your sample data, that we can easily figure out with help of the confidence intervals. Is it clear my point? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and moreover, for example, if we have sample data, that with help of the sample data we can estimate the population also, not only from population to sample. From the population to sample we can easily do it. Meanwhile, you have sample data but you don't know anything about population. Okay, but with help of the confidence intervals, with help of the sample data, we can estimate the population also, vice versa, nothing but. So if we have the population, from the population we can simply, with help of the some sampling technique, we can figure out some sample data, right? For example, you have some sample data but you don't know anything about population. With help of the confidence intervals, we can estimate the population with help of the sample data. Clear my point? That usually we are calling it say inferential statistics. Basically, statistics are two types. One is the descriptive and second one is the inferential. And this is the confidence intervals are, it's a part of the inferential statistics, because of something you're going to be estimating. You're not summarizing, you're not describing, you don't know something but you're estimating, right? That we are calling it say inferential. So just note these particular points. Note these particular points, guys. Okay, so the CA value we can estimate, or we have a formula, we have a standard formula. The formula is, which is the point estimator. The first one is, it's a point estimator, and the second one is marginal error. It's a plus or minus actually. So marginal error. See, this point of estimator that we can consider with your mean of your sample or population, whatever it is. Okay, the point of estimator, it could be your mean of sample, and it could be plus or minus. And here we have a z. Z is nothing but your maybe z value, or else sometimes we could be considered as the alpha also, based upon the test we consider. Okay, z alpha by 2, and it could be multiplication of the standard deviation of the population by square root of total number of sample data. Okay, so this is the formula. It could help you to find out your upper limit and lower limit of your population when we know the information about your population standard deviation. This is the formula. It could be help you when we know the population standard deviation. When we know the standard deviation of a population and the entire information of sample data, this particular situation, you can go with this particular formula. But here this formula can be changed, depends upon the sample data what we have it. For example, the sample data, it could be less than the 30 records. The sample data which we have less than 30 records, that particular situation we can go with t-test. And the sample data when we have more than 30, okay, the sample data when we have more than 30, and moreover it should have some kind of population information. When we know the population information, little bit of information we require, at least standard deviation. Okay, and the data, it could be more than the 30, and we should know the population standard deviation. That particular situation we can go with z test to solving the confidence intervals values. I hope you understood, right? Let me consider I have the population data. Okay, can you please note these particular points? I just wait for 1 minute or 2 minutes.
I think we are done noting it.
Hello? It's done, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay, now, so how we can able to calculate this particular Z value? So we seen that, right? Alpha by 2, something we seen, right? So how we can calculate it, that one? So this is the Z value, okay? This Z value we can figure out, or we can know it from the Z table. So we have some kind of Z table that we can able to get it from online sources, okay? Or there we can able to do it actually, okay? And for example, you have a normal distribution, okay, and here I can consider my alpha value is 0.05, that particular situation, and the Z alpha by 2, right? So here it is alpha by 2 and here it is alpha by 2, right? Alpha by 2 in the sense 0.05 by 2 and 0.05 by 2, right? So here we will be getting the 0.025 and here we are getting the 0.025, right? So this is your alpha by 2, okay. And now, so how you can able to calculate it, this one? So we have a formula 1 minus alpha by 2. So with help of this one we can able to find out the 1 minus 0.025. so here we are getting the some value, that is 0.9750. so with help of this value we can see in a jet table from online sources. And okay, let me show you this value. I can show you this value from online, okay. You can open any one of Google Chrome and we just Google it something like jet table, and how we can able to find out that jet value from the jet table. And 1 minus alpha by 2, right? So that value we just see it actually, okay, 0.975. Okay, you just consider this one. This is the, okay, jet table. Let me consider this one. Go open that table. Okay, so what is the value of, what is the value here? Tell me guys. 0. 0. What value we got it? 0.9. Okay, 0.9 plus 0.75, right? 0.9, this range, and 0.97, 0.907 is this value. 0.9, and the value it could be in between this range, okay. The value it could be in between this range, okay. So this is exactly, this is the way we can able to calculate the jet value, but we don't worry about this one, just I'm showing it, okay. But we have in concepts in further classes, okay. So by this particular situation we can go with that particular formula, and from the jet table we can easily figure out the, or we can easily know it the Z value. If you know the Z value, the standard value, standard deviation also we know it, and the sample size also we know it, and the sample mean also we know it. When we know this all values, we can easily estimate, right? So from this particular formula, what value we don't know, only this value you don't know, right? This value we can find out from the Z table. This Z alpha by 2 we can calculate it from the Z table, okay. Other than this one, everything it could be known information only. when you know the information, then we just substitute the values and we can easily calculate it. Clear? So this is fine. For example, I don't know anything about sample, I don't know anything about population data, and maybe my sample size also very less. That particular situation, then how I can able to estimate my CA values? Or should I estimate my CA values? This is the CA values we can estimate it with help of the point estimator plus and marginal error, plus or minus marginal error. Okay, so here the point estimator is, it's your sample mean plus or minus t alpha by 2. Here it is the t table, we should use it now. And here I don't know anything about population information, I just know about only sample information. That was the reason here I just need to use it, the standard deviation of the sample data. Okay, and square root of n, this is the formula. It could help you when we have the less than 30 samples. This formula we should use it when the sample size is less than 30 records and what, unknown information. I don't know anything about population, unknown population. That situation we can use this formula, and this particular Z formula we can use it. X mean, that means mean of sample plus or minus Z alpha by 2 into standard deviation of the population by square root of n. This one we should use when the sample size is more, and sample size is more. Okay, and I know about population, I know information about population. The two situations we can use this formula. If you don't know anything about population and my sample size also very less, that situation we can go with confidence intervals. I mean t value. This t value we can calculate it from the t table. Okay, so this value is how we can able to calculate it. That everything I will show you, I will tell you in a further classes. Okay, but we just need to remember two things. The confidence intervals we can calculate it in two different ways. One is with help of the t table or t test, and second one is jet test. T test will help you when my sample size is less than 30 and I don't know anything about population. That situation I can go with t test, and the jet test we should use when my sample size is more than the 30 and I know about some information about population. That situation I can go with jet test. I hope you're clear, right? Did you clear my points?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just note this formula also. Note this formula. Okay, just note this particular t-test and z-test, guys, and these particular formulas. So by tomorrow's session, what I would like to explain, and this z-test and t-test over there, and the previous session, one tail and two tail we seen, right? Yes or no? In our previous class, we discussed about one tail and two tail, right? So from the one tail and two tail, here also we can apply the z-test with one tail, and the meanwhile we can apply the z-test with two tail. In the meanwhile, we can go with the t-test, with the one tail, and the t-test with the two tail also we could be considered. Okay, this all test we can finish it by tomorrow's session. After that one, we have some distributions, central limit theorem, and those concepts will be there that we will discuss on Friday class. Tomorrow and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow classes could be important, and if I complete those two classes, which means that our statistics class is done, and you just remember these particular points, and again this same concept by the time of machine learning we can use it. And from Monday onwards, I want to start the two sessions at 6 p.m. It could be Python, okay, at 8 p.m. deep learning. Okay, who are interested for deep learning classes, you just come for deep learning classes also. Okay, if and only if you're interested, and meanwhile if you have the time, okay, both classes also you can able to continue. So 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. as per IST, and 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. as per IST. Okay, so 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. could be the Python, and 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. it could be the deep learning. So these two sessions I just want to be start from the Monday onwards. By these two classes I can complete the entire statistics class. Okay, that's for our plan. And make sure if you're interested for deep learning, and if you want to learn deep learning little bit of speedness, then what we will do, you can adjust your timings and you can come for sessions. Okay, yep, thank you guys, bye, take care.